คะคันยูมันคืออะไรล่ะคะ
Like a lot of guys these days, I found myself sitting alone one day on a park bench with a drastically shrunken to-do list. After about a year of that, I decided to do something. That's how I became an expat. That's how I came to Thailand. These days, I'm a happy guy. Some of my friends think it's the babes. Others say it's the Buddha. Here's the real story. When I was a little kid, I guess it must have been toward the end of World War II, I was 4 or 5 years old, my grandmother used to take me to the movies. We used to sit on the balcony. We saw Bambi, we saw John Wayne, and Back to Bataan. That was a good one. But the movie that I really liked the most of all was Errol Flynn's Robin Hood.
One man alone dared challenge the might of his country's oppressors. One leader and his stalwart band, Rob Scarlett, Friar Tuck, and Little John, and all the other valiant Saxons, robbing the rich to feed the poor, humbling the proud to serve the meek, ready to fight for king, for as daring in love as he was in battle, giving his heart to the enchanting maid.
I must have been much influenced by this story, because as life went on, I kept running off to places like Thailand, which seemed to me a sort of tropical Sherwood forest. A few years later, I went to see a famous psychiatrist, Irv Yalom. He told me that I had been excessively influenced by this story, and that perhaps I was beginning to think that I myself was Robin Hood. This may have been why, when one snowy night in 1959, when I was studying for my finals at MIT, and my friend Mike O'Keefe called me and told me to just skip the finals and come with him to Havana, I accepted the invitation. Mike said, "We can meet Fidel Castro and Che Guevara." And we did.
Outside Havana's presidential palace, hundreds of thousands rally at the call of revolution.
So these revolutionaries, they were full of idealism, but they were also full of thoughts of revenge, too. Revenge took the form of executions, about 250 of them, and the guy in charge of those executions was the man who was now becoming something of a hero of mine, Che Guevara.
160 AD, when there is the ballad of Robin the Beheader, which is a man who lives in the forest and robs people and chops off their heads and sometimes their hands.
Al 100%. Se aplaude. Un solo mes lo cumplió. Se aplaude. ¿Cómo sería si hubiera cumplido todos los meses?
Well, a lot of these romances don't have happy endings, and that turned out to be the case with Che.
When it arrived at Valle Grande, the eyes were still wide open.
A couple of weeks back, we had our own Asian-style revolution here in Bangkok. These red shirt guys took over half the city, and naturally enough, I couldn't keep myself away. I'm taking Bangkok's nifty SkyTrain here. Bangkok's a city of young people, young women, millions of them. These rural people have taken over the center part of the city, and it looks more like a big party than it does a revolution. One morning I met this man. We were both on our way to McDonald's for a bit of breakfast. I didn't know who he was at the time, but everyone seemed to want his autograph. and I learned later that this was the famous Sedang, chief of the black shirt guard of the red shirt
Little
movement.
Scarlet, Friar Tuck, and Little John, and all the other valiant Saxons, robbing the rich to feed the poor, humbling the proud to serve the meek, ready to fight for king, for country.
These are Sedang's merry men. They don't wear green, they wear black. The men in black, we called them, during the 2 weeks that they terrified Bangkok. Estimates are that the ones who were armed with more than slingshots never amounted to more than a dozen or two, but they sure scared the shit out of the Sheriff of Nottingham, and he sent in about 50,000 of his guys. That's 1,000 to 1. Is Sedang going to be another timeless hero? So nowadays I'm an older guy, and I think I've learned my lesson. On a rainy night in Bangkok, I just take in a good movie. Then drop by my local pub. We've even got Maid Marian